Yes guys, welcome back to the Boot Perspective YouTube channel. Today we've got a very exciting video for you. It's a playtest of the Skechers Razor. It's the first playtest I've ever done, but I put up a poll on my story on Instagram and most of you said you wanted me to do a playtest for these boots. So here you go. So yeah, this is the first playtest that I've ever done, and so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I just need to get the sticker off this boot. But yeah, it's a white boot. It's a shiny sole plate, and I've got a muddy field, so it's a combination that's not the best. So we'll see how long these boots stay white for. But yeah, I've got a close-up camera down here as well that gives you a better angle of what the boots are like. And so these are a bit more of a narrow boot, so as you can see I'm struggling to get these on. And I've got grip socks as well, so they are going to be extra hard to slip on, as you can see there. But what I have done is I've got an older pair of grip socks that I'm wearing, and so they are slightly thinner than usual. So at home I did try putting these on with a brand new pair of grip socks, and it was one of the hardest things I've had to do. So I just could not get my foot in. But these, yeah, they feel good. They feel really nice. And the thing is it's a narrow boot, but they still do fit my foot quite well. And what I'm just trying to do here is just try to loosen, or like when you put grip socks on, if you guys wear grip socks, you'll probably know sometimes the grip is just too grippy and it pulls your toes back. And so what I like to do is just slip off and slip on the boot just a little bit so that the socks can sort of adjust like it needs to. And I always go with my left boot first because I'm left-footed. Just a bit of a tradition, and I know quite a few left-footed people that do the same as well. Let me know in the comments if you do the same. Do you put the boots on your strong foot first? I do it every time before training, before games. Got another sticker on here. But yeah, even the sole plate, absolutely beautiful. But yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. Even my shoes are already destroyed, and I've just been walking on the field. So winter's coming. I'll go this way for you guys so you can see my right boot. It's already mud all over here. Oh well, can't keep these boots clean for long. My right foot is bigger than my left foot, and so it is a bit harder to get on. But yeah, so you can see how sometimes you can see here the sock's a bit loose, and it's because it's just rolled back as I put the boots on. So all I'm trying to do is just loosen that a little bit. So I just slide it off and put it back on. It's already much better as well. But yeah, shout out to Skechers New Zealand for hooking me up with these boots. When my company first signed with them, they gave me a free pair of boots. And originally I thought I might just keep it in the collection, but then they're actually too nice to not use. And if I've got the opportunity to do a play test with them, I might as well make the most of it. So here we are. This right boot, the right foot just does feel a bit too tight. It's just because of the sock being a bit rolled up. So yeah, initial thoughts, they're quite nice. They're very soft, very comfortable as well. And as I said, it is more of a narrow boot, but they do fit my foot quite well. And obviously, as I said, I'm wearing an older pair of grip socks, so they're nice and thin. If it's a thicker grip socks, these definitely don't fit me. They're just too tight. And it would be interesting to know whether if I went with the 8.5, so these are US 8, which is my usual size. But yeah, if I went with a US 8.5, could I wear the thicker grip socks, or would the boots become too big? That would be interesting to see. Now there is, as I just stand, there's a bit of a gap in there, as you can see, just if I can get this angle right. So as I stand, there's just a bit of a gap in there. And if you watch my review on the Skechers SKX, I did mention that tongue, or the collar, the ankle collar, is quite loose on the SKX, and I don't really like that. I like my collar to be nice and snug. And so with these, they are more snug. But yeah, there's just a bit of gap there. But it's only when I stand. If I just have my foot like that, it's fine. And it's also only on my left foot. My right foot's fine. And so, yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether, that affects me when I play or not. I definitely don't feel like it's loose on the heel, but yeah, we'll give it a go. Right, so I'm just gonna go for a jog around the field. Yeah, first time running in these, so let's see how it feels. This mic is really annoying. It's quite big, and I've never really used it for sports things, so let's see how it goes. Right, so onto some juggling. These are definitely gonna dirty my boots, they're gonna destroy them, but it is what it is. Now, this is the part that I was really interested to find out about, is because the upper is really thin, and it's quite similar to the Vapor 10s from back in the day. If you wore the Vapor 10s, you'll know exactly what I mean when I describe this upper. It's very thin, and it's got a bit of micro texturing on the upper. So, but it's very thin. It's so soft and comfortable as well. Like, it's very, maybe plush is the word, but yeah, extremely soft. And it's probably the boot with the thinnest upper that I've worn, at least in recent times. I don't like too much grip on my upper, but I've always had it slightly thicker and a bit of texture on it as well. And so it's interesting to see how these feel, but they actually feel fine. I don't notice anything. I don't notice like it's too thin or it's too thick or anything. So yeah, it's actually not too bad. I grew up doing ball mastery through TFT, Total Football Technique, and so this is just my bread and butter, although I haven't done it in a while. So let's see how good I am or how rusty I am. But yeah, a bit of ball mastery here, and then we're going to just dribble through the cones in a bit of a zigzag formation. I just want to get a good feel of the ball as I'm changing direction and dribbling with it as well. Using both feet in here, really get a feel of it. And as I said, the upper of this boot is synthetic. It's very soft, very thin, and it's just got a bit of micro texturing, very similar to that Vapor 10. And everyone loved the Vapor 10. And so if you did love the Vapor 10, I'd highly recommend giving this a go as well. At least try it, see if you like it. Around the last cone, and then a bit of a longer stride all the way through. So the Performance Flyknit, which was one of the key textures from Skechers, it's just on the laces and around the collar of the boot. It's not on the whole boot like you do find in the SKX. And then you've got a bit of a mesh midfoot. Get around this nice and tight, and all the way back. I am starting to feel my feet are getting really sore around the outsides, especially on the bone on the pinky toe. But I'm not too concerned, because I did have that in the Phantom GX as well that I do wear. And after about 2 to 3 sessions, they were completely fine. And I always tell people, when you're trying on boots, especially if you want them really tight, you have to go through a bit of pain in the first few sessions, and then once they break in, they'll be really nice. But these boots, it could just be because it's too narrow for me, but we'll find out. So next, I'm just going to do the same thing, but go around the other way and a bit of a zigzag in there. So go 4, pull, push inside, 4 to 5 maybe, and then nice and tight. So with the outsole of the boot, actually, it's very similar to the Vapor. You've got a lot of bladed studs, or actually all of them are bladed studs, and so it's a speed boot. It's made for the sharp cuts, sharp change of direction. And so you can definitely use this on an FG pitch like I am right now. Although on this pitch, I might need metal studs. But yeah, if you're wearing the firm ground versions of this, obviously really good for firm ground, but I definitely wouldn't recommend them for artificial grass. I'm so tired. This is the first time I've done this sort of training for almost a year now. Okay, so what I want to do next is just a few pings, just a bit of a floated pass, and just want to really get a feel of that upper. I got so much mud on my boots is actually ridiculous. This is where you do want to wear soft ground. It's just, look at that. Look at my, I'll show you on the closer camera here. Look at these. There's mud all over the boots. Not ideal. Right, so yeah, just a floated pass. Just want to see what it feels like. See if I can get a bit more on that. Might even roll it out and then get it. Yeah, that's better. I mean, the interesting thing with Skechers is, you know, again, I've said it before in the review, it's like, it's a very competitive market with the football boots, you know, but I think I really like what they've done, especially with this boot. You know, I think with the Mercurial Vapors being, basically, I would say the Vapors are probably the most consistent and the most iconic line, you know, because it's the line of boots, because it's been around for, what, since, at least 10 years now, I think more as well. But you know, this boot can definitely compete with that. The pain on my foot has sort of gone away a little bit, which is a good sign. You know, it's only taken me a little bit. Crossbar challenge. But yeah, the pain on my foot, it's gone away. I don't feel it as much anymore, and that's a really good sign, because it's only taken me, what, maybe 20-30 minutes to break them in. Whereas, as I said before, the Phantom GX, it took me 3 training sessions, so that's like 1.5 hours each to actually break them in and for that pain to disappear. So that's a really good sign. They break in pretty quick. Right, I'm just gonna do another 3 more just to get a good feel, maybe another 2 more actually. There's a nice floated pass. Not bad. I do like how it feels on the upper. As I'm striking this ball, just lacing it, a floated pass, it's very soft and I like it. Can't end on that. I'm gonna go one more. That was not good enough. Right, last one. Crossbar, nope. So just to finish off, we're gonna do a bit of shooting. So I'm just gonna go towards that cone, dribble towards the cone, do a bit of a move, beat the cone, and I'm looking to finish in that far post. And I just want to get a feel of what it's like to really whip that ball, you know, that finesse finish, especially with such a thin upper. And, you know, there's not much grip on it. So I really want to see what it feels like. Go for that far post. Not bad. So I think this is where I'll really get to feel that carbon fiber sole plate. You know, as I'm pushing off away from this cone, I should be able to really feel, you know, whether that carbon fiber sole plate actually makes a difference. So for someone like me who's never worn, or, you know, I used to when I was a kid, but those weren't the elite boots, but I've never really worn speed boots where you've got those sharper bladed studs. And so this is probably the first time I've worn bladed studs in years. I think last time I wore bladed studs was probably when I was 13. And yeah, they weren't the elite pairs, so I wouldn't even compare them. But I can definitely feel the difference. Yeah, so as I was saying, I can definitely feel the difference with the sharper bladed studs. It just makes me feel just a bit more explosive. You know, I can feel that, like if I'm changing direction, it does feel good. And maybe that's a mixture of those bladed studs and the carbon fiber sole plate, but it definitely does feel firm. That sole plate feels firm, but I also do feel explosive. So if you're wondering whether sole plates make a difference, 100% they do. You know, if I compare these to my Phantom GX, they definitely don't feel as explosive, and yeah, they definitely make a difference. I like it. I really do like it. All right, get a few more in here. See if I can hit some top pins. Nope, but stuck under my feet there. Yeah, as I said, it's a smooth upper, but I like it. You know, I don't feel like it's too thin or anything. It's really nice. And I mean, I am someone that I feel like I'm someone that believes, you know, if you've got a bad touch, you've got a bad touch. If you can't strike a ball properly, you can't strike a ball properly. The boots aren't really going to make that big of a difference. But it does make a tiny bit of difference, you know. And on this boot, you're not really going to feel much with the upper, but something like the sole plate, for example, you can feel it. And wow, as I'm just standing here, the boots have stretched and they actually mold to my foot really well. Wow, I'm actually liking these. Okay, so what I want to do this time, last drill for the day, is shooting again, but I'm more central to the goal this time because I'm going to go this way past the cone, and I want to get a bit more of this laced strikes in. So I'm aiming across goal. I just want to get a feel of what it feels like when I'm hitting those laced strikes. First one. What a finish. Side netting. So when I became official retailers with Skechers, they obviously, as I said earlier, they offered me boots for free, and this was the pair I chose. But you know, if you go based off all of the previous boots that I've had, you'd have expected me to choose the SKX because it's wider, it's very similar, straight into the keeper's hands, very similar to the Phantom GX, which I wore. You know, I've had like 7 pairs of them. I love the Phantom GX. But the reason why I went to the Razors is because I really liked the upper just from the looks of it straight away. And that was the reason why I went for it. And then instantly, actually, I regretted it because I was like, these are too narrow for me. There's no way I'm going to fit in them. And so I just kept them sitting on my shelf for months. But now, I'm actually glad that I went with these. Finish. Last few in here. Scissor, touch. Bottom corner. Oh no! It's the first one I've missed today. Not even hit the target. But hey, you win some, you lose some, right? Even Harry Kane misses sometimes. Not a lot. It's one of the best finishers I've seen, Harry Kane. What a signing from Skechers. Oh, it's 2 in a row. I was going to wrap it up there, but we need to do one more. We've got to finish on a goal. Right, I've only grabbed one ball because that's all I need. One ball, one goal. Let's go. Drag step. Yeah, I'll take that. Nearly rolled my ankle on there. You can watch me clean my boots. They are destroyed, especially the left foot with all the striking. And I want to chat a little bit about the boot after trying them on. Just want to give them a bit of a clean. I mean, the good thing about this upper, the synthetic upper, is that it's very easy to clean. You can see that it comes off really easily. Obviously the laces, the mesh part, that's a nightmare to clean. This knit material, sorry, not the mesh, the knit material, nightmare to clean. The synthetic upper and the mesh around the sides, easy, really easy to clean. Right, there you have it. The Skechers SKX playtest. Overall thoughts, I really like them, and I think the best part about it is how quickly they broke in. And being a narrow boot, originally they were quite tight for me, but as I said in the video, within about 30 minutes, they actually broke in really, really well, and I could feel like it was almost fit my foot perfectly. And someone that has wide feet, you know, I don't have incredibly wide feet, but I never go for the Mercurial Vapors or the Adidas F50s because they're just too narrow, and these actually fit my foot really well. Originally, I had a bit of pain around this bit of the boot, you know, where that ankle bone is, just in there, and there. But within 30 minutes, that was all gone, you know, and it fit my foot really well. When I was looking down on it, you know, and I'm just standing there, it fit really well. Bladed studs, I found that really interesting because, as I said, I haven't worn bladed studs for years now. Never worn an elite pair of bladed studs, I think. You know, maybe the closest would have been the Phantom GT, which had a mix of bladed studs and conical studs from memory. I could be wrong there. But yeah, I can definitely feel these boots are more explosive, quicker to change direction, definitely sharper as well. And I mean, you've got the comfort, you know, the Hyperbus Pro in there, you've got the comfort. The one thing I will say is just this sock collar here. Skechers, if you're watching this, please fix the collar around the ankle on both the SKX and the Razor. The Razor's not too bad, it does fit more snug, but please, you know, I think if that can be fixed, just make it more snug around the ankle. Not necessarily more snug around the ankle, because the boot is snug around the ankle, but it's just, this sock collar just feels too flimsy. It's just a bit of an extra thing there, and yeah, I just wish it would stick to my ankle a bit more. You don't feel like it's loose, you don't feel like the boot's going to come off, you know, not slipping or anything. But yeah, if they can fix that, I think this is a really good boot. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment as well. If you've worn these boots, let me know what you think of them. If you haven't, would you wear them? Would you try them out? And yeah, let me know what boots you want me to review or do a playtest of next as well. I think I'll definitely do the SKX, a playtest for them. I have done a review of the SKX, so you can go and watch that. But yeah, maybe I'll do a playtest of that. And I definitely want to do more playtests as well. So yeah, let me know what boots you want me to review. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.